I've always been fascinated by human beings and their lives and just talking to people. You see a lot of people that are, talking about how to get ahead in life, but they're not really doing anything themselves. So there's a lot of cynicism involved in that. But there's also sincerity in it. And you can get, if you just look at it with a pure heart and a pure mind, you can get a lot of energy out of that. It's like the tide. It comes in and it comes out. There's going to be days where you're just not feeling so good physically, and that's going to affect the way your happiness level is. It's never static. It's never exactly the same. I mean, it never feels like a completed task, right? Everyone's a work in progress forever. People love when people appreciate good fortune and appreciate a well-earned position and are, engrossed in a beautiful life of something that they really enjoy and something that really inspires them. One of the saddest things is someone who's in an amazing position who doesn't appreciate it. And that drives other people crazy too. There's certain guys that are just bulletproof. They just look at you and they know what to do. There's a reason why he's undefeated. He knows how to do it. But for a guy like that, it doesn't matter what you do. He's a Michael Jordan type character. There's a few of those guys out there. There's these LeBron Jameses, these Larry Birds. They exist in all sports. They have this mindset, a champion mindset. Just champions. You look at them, it doesn't matter. They know what they're doing. They've done the work. They're the best in the business. You can mean mug them and get aggressive. They might smile at you. They might think, this is cute. You're trying to make me nervous. Hilarious. See you tomorrow. There's certain guys that just, it doesn't matter. You can't get in there. There's certain champions, like real champions. Potential education that you would get from that situation. The bad feeling that you get when someone scores on you is motivation for you to be better at defense. Whether it's someone who becomes really good at playing chess or someone who's really good at martial arts or whatever it is, there's a great feeling in these overcoming these difficult things. It makes me want to work harder. And in that sense, as long as someone's not doing anything bad, as long as someone's not victimizing someone, what they're doing is they're showing you that it's possible to do better than you're doing.
Yeah.
And that's good. Participating in things that are going to test you is so critical. Giving them this opportunity to realize that there's a line between success and failure, and that you could push through that line. You could become successful at something. My concentrating on people that suck or being jealous about people that are doing well does me zero good. But instead, if someone does well, I can be inspired and I can get fired up by it. But if you only concentrate on the things you care about that mean something to you and learn how to do that, you're learning how to avoid the little road bumps and the ditches on the side of the road. There's no positive benefit in underestimating someone. It's a martial arts thing. Because in martial arts, you can't be jealous of someone else's ability. You have to realize you might have to fight them someday. So by realizing that they're really good, you're forced to be objective about it. And you have to go to work. Wondering why other people's success or wondering why other people are successful is the refuge of losers. It's so deep-seated in us. And it can cause so many unnecessary conflicts for no reason. It's so escapable too. It's so if you can objectively analyze the way human beings behave and interact with each other and go, well, why do we do this? Let's just stop doing that. When they start thinking why am I living like this? What if I really do only have 50 years to live? Why am I living these 50 years in some really unproductive way that's not satisfying at all? Because I just want a bigger house? What is it? Do I want a faster car? What's the end goal too? What are you trying to accomplish with your life, with your existence, with your time? And if you're just about acquiring wealth and money, some people they're going to be very deeply unhappy, and it's going to be this weird game of acquiring influence and power till you just have this insurmountable mound of money that you live on top of, right? What is the purpose of this path that I'm on now versus a path that I could be on? I think the real concern is AI is going to rationally analyze our behavior and our reliance on emotions and all these human reward systems that we have built in, the way it's affecting our society and the way it's affecting how we govern ourselves and how we behave amongst ourselves. And we're a part of a system that we didn't agree to it. We just all of a sudden found ourselves in it, and we're trying to make it fit us. And some people, I guess, like the corporate world. I got lucky and I found a bunch of that I like. And if you had said to me if you asked me if I was, outside of my life, and if I didn't know that I existed, and you said, do you think it's possible to be a cage fighting commentator / stand-up comedian? I'd be like, no.
Right.
They don't go together. These unconventional paths, they brought me something that I wasn't getting from regular life. It was a feeling that I was completely unused to in the 14 previous years of my life. All of a sudden, there was this feeling that I was unusual, I was unique, I was special. There was no way I was ever going to be able to hold a regular job, and then I got lucky when I was 21 and I found stand-up. And so from then on, I'd kind of like locked into this thing where I'm just going to do what I like, because everybody's giving me advice to do this and advice to do that, and it never seems to be what I want to do. We sometimes need something that's shoved in our face to force us to act. I think there's a lot of people out there like that, and for some awful reason, they never find whatever it is that can break them free. They never catch a ride on that river out. If everyone, the lowest you could live is like a middle-class existence.
Yes.
Boy, everybody would all be a lot more relaxed. Like, immediately. If you always had meals, you always had food, you always had a roof over your head. Everyone lives middle class.
Right.
If we really are on a team and we see someone who's completely downtrodden who's on our team and we ignore them, well, that's not much of a team, is it?
No.
I mean, that's what I feel like when I come to red lights and I see homeless people. That whatever genius they have is wasted on this nonsensical existence. You choose to try to enrich yourself with this difficult experience and the challenge of it and try to overcome that challenge. Instead of your challenge is not to be killed by a gang. Wouldn't it be more ethical if everybody started from the same starting block? Well, that's what's wrong with the world, right? What's wrong with the world is some people are in they have a terrible hand of cards they've been dealt. That's what everybody really wants, right? You want to be comfortable, like in terms of like your ability to exist. And then all the things you're doing that you struggle with should be a good percentage of them, other than emotional and friendship type things, should be of your own choosing. The idea that that's impossible seems so insane. It almost seems like, well, then nobody should live like that then. Well, so many of us are trapped in the expectations and values of our parents too. That's a real problem when people don't let their children become an individual. And your attitude has a giant effect, not just on your life, but on other people's lives around you. That's the other thing about it. Those I can't catch a break guys, get them away from me. I can't be around those guys. I don't want to hear that. I think what you can do is be yourself. And what you can do is express yourself. And what you can do is constantly seek to improve and grow. Because everybody has bad breaks.
Yeah.
I've had bad breaks. But you know what I did? I stayed up.
Yeah.
And I thought through it. And I figured out what I did wrong. And then I went back. And when you test yourself and you have to figure your way through something or change the path because the path you were on was unsuccessful, when you're doing that, it's really good for the mind. But you got to realize when you have those breaks what that is. It's an opportunity for you to reassess, reboot, get better, figure out another way, find another way through. It's just little challenges. With life experience and developing confidence and understanding of who you are and why you had those feelings and why you were insecure and why you had so much self-doubt. Martial arts helped me with that tremendously, because it was the first thing that I ever did where I didn't feel like a loser. There's so much discipline involved in the act of learning.
Yeah.
And so much reverence and respect for people who know more than you, and appreciation. So that helped me with pretty much everything I ever wanted to learn. I just would listen very intently. I don't think, maybe I could figure it out better. I'm very good at listening to people that are good at things. If you have real positive experiences with difficult things that you choose to do on your own, I think it mitigates most of the hassle of life. Change yourself. And when you change yourself, it becomes evident to the people around you. And if your change is beneficial and attractive, people, they gravitate towards that idea that you can improve yourself and you change your perspective on things. There's something to doing difficult tasks that it makes life easier. I really believe that. I think it makes life more enjoyable. I think it makes the bright